Our region's business is sponsored by PNC Bank, solutions that help you achieve your goals in life. PNC, leading the way. And by Heffron Tillotson, a history of meticulous wealth management since 1948. Our region's business, innovation, transformation, momentum, improving our communities and driving technologies that will shape our region for generations. The collaboration that brings vitality, prosperity, and life to living. Stay with us for the coming half hour as we examine in depth our region's business. Now, here's your host, Bill Flanagan.
Today on Our Region's Business, taking great ideas to market and capturing students' imagination through science. But first, with unemployment on the rise in our region and likely to continue rising through the balance of the year, it might come as a surprise that more than 20,000 jobs are going begging in the 10 counties of southwestern Pennsylvania. Yet it's a fact. Check out ImagineMyNewJob.com, a website provided as a community service by the Allegheny Conference on Community Development, which co-produces this program. It tracks down all jobs posted online for the 10 counties, a searchable database that allows job seekers to see if there's a position that's just right for them. And Randy Dearth is back with us. He's a member of the executive committee of the Allegheny Conference and chairs the organization's workplace committee. He also has a day job as president and CEO of LANXESS Corporation. And welcome back. Good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Bill.
Yeah, this is kind of an avocation, I guess, really thinking hard about workforce issues, workplace issues in southwestern Pennsylvania. And a challenge. It's a challenge in a recession, but it's even a challenge when there's not a recession.
Absolutely. And one thing, when you look around the country and look at successful regions, the one thing that's common among all these regions is a talented, diverse, accessible workforce. And we here in southwestern Pennsylvania need that. When you consider that we have one of the oldest populations in the country, and within the next 5 years, I think there's going to be a huge exodus of people leaving the workplace, the baby boomers from retirement, we need to fill those holes. Despite the economic situation we see today, we have to think a few years ahead.
Well, I think about LANXESS chemical manufacturer. Everybody I talk to in manufacturing especially says we're really looking at this demographic time bomb that's out there, and it's real.
Oh, it's real. And when you look at the demographic from 25 to 40, and you rank Pittsburgh to 100 big cities, we're 98th.
Gee.
98th out of 100 in terms of that demographic. So we need to get people here. We need to look at what we could do as CEOs of companies, what we could do as educators to make sure that our workforce is accessible, talented, and diverse.
I know the conference has come up with, what, a three-pronged approach to this?
Yeah, we're focusing on it three ways, you're right. The first is looking at it from the education side. How can we build the bridge between the schools, the high schools, the elementary schools, the colleges, with the business community? And we have that through the Pittsburgh Regional Compact. And that's working well. We need to refine that in the coming months to really focus on the issues, energy, for instance, or chemical in our case. The other part of our three-point strategy is diversity. And Sunil Vadvani has taken on the task of working with Dan Honorato on an immigration diversity task force. How can we do that? And they're doing a great job, and I look forward to seeing that progress develop. The third part of our strategy is looking at that demographic, for instance, and saying, okay, how do we get the people that are here that don't know about the jobs, how do we retain them? And also, how do we go outside our region to cities like Washington and New York and other cities and tell them the story about Pittsburgh? And, oh, by the way, there's 22,000 jobs.
Well, and that's where we get into this website. That's part of it, because I think the demographics you're talking about, they're online these days.
Oh, absolutely. You got to really get to where they're at, and that's social media. You need to be on the Facebooks. You need to be on the Twitters. You need to tell the story, because and they want a dialogue as well, but that's where they're going to make their decision. And the Allegheny Conference is doing that. I know more and more you're seeing companies do that. You got to get to where they're at.
And are you finding that there are successful ways to do that, or is this really in the initial stages right now?
Well, I keep seeing month by month, we keep seeing our website hits increase. We keep seeing our hits on Twitter and on Facebook increase. So people are getting out there. I think it's going to multiply. If you take Facebook, and just to throw something out there, 75 million people are there.
Wow. It's
more than the population of Brazil. If we harness that somehow, and this is a challenge not only for the conference, but for other people, and get people to look at Pittsburgh, it's huge what's out there.
Do you think we should be surprised at all that there are 20-some thousand jobs open right now in the 10 counties?
No, not really.
No?
I think we here in Pittsburgh and southwestern Pennsylvania are creating a different economy. You know, the chemical industry, many people don't know how many, there's 13,000 jobs here in southwestern Pennsylvania for chemistry. The healthcare industry is booming. You know, Westinghouse and what they're doing in the energy sector, which I think is the future of our region. Tons and tons of opportunities. So it doesn't surprise me.
So it's both jobs open, right? Jobs being created, maybe less so, but you've got the baby boomers leaving the workforce. Just typical churn and attrition.
Typical attrition, people leaving for personal reasons. That's always going to happen. But the 1.2 on ImagineMyNewJob.com and the 22,000 jobs you mentioned, over half of those are 40,000 plus. So higher than the annual salary of the Pittsburgh region. So these are good jobs. We think this is a start. We would like to see that grow, more and more jobs, more and more hits. And I think we have a technique and a tactic that's going to allow us then to capture this talent.
It's a real a change in thinking, I think, for the people of our region, because for a generation, people have been saying to their kids, well, get skills because you're going to have to go somewhere else to find opportunity. That's not really true
It's
anymore.
false. We're not getting the story out there. I think we as companies need to do a better job of that. I think here in the media we need to do a better job. There's a lot here for people. There's a lot of jobs, obviously, based on the numbers we shared, but there's also a lot in terms of quality of life. You know, with the universities, I think 35 great high-class universities, the hospitals, the cultural, the sports. This is a place you want to be.
All right. Well, the website, once again, is ImagineMyNewJob.com. Randy Dearth with the Allegheny Conference and LANXESS Corporation. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right. And next up, taking great ideas to market. Stay with us.